It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. I am so grateful that you are all joining us tonight. Welcome, everybody. I am so happy that you're here. My name is Mike DeLuca, and I will be your host. And this is, of course, Goal Achievement Mastermind, our Sunday night Goal Achievement Mastermind. This is brought to you by my company, Integrative Wellness and Development, LLC. And I must always start these meetings to let you know that the purpose of this program is for your education, information, inspiration, and often your perspiration. But we never make any claims that this is going to diagnose, treat, heal, prevent any type of illness or problem or challenge, other than we're going to give you tools, we're going to give you information, experiences, things that you can put in your toolbox to help you in your quest to achieve your goals and build a better life for yourself. I know that many of the folks here have been using these tools that I've been communicating over the last few years. And we've all been having some interesting and powerful experiences of success. I know I have, and very grateful for that. So we're going to jump right into tonight's topic. We always have a different topic every night. This program is not affiliated with any other organization. It's simply here to provide information and tools. And we have a topic every meeting, and we're going to move right to tonight's topic. So we're going to jump to that. And as always, there is a multitude of buttons to be pushed. And we've pushed all kinds of buttons, and we are connected. And if you can all see the screen, as you saw in the Facebook posts and in the emails, depending on how you communicate with this program, you'll see that tonight we're going to talk about how to use the C.A.R.G.A.S formula for growth and transformation. How many of you know what the C.A.R.G.A.S formula is? Well, don't feel bad. I just made it up today. So, every Saturday night, Maybeth asks me, so what's the topic going to be for tomorrow? And I always say, I can definitely, absolutely tell you that I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be talking about. But I wake up Sunday morning, and as those of you know, I attend and listen to a staggering number of workshops and podcasts and lectures. Have a pretty insatiable appetite for that. And so I had listened to one while I was working out the other day, and it really caught my attention. And I thought, this would be a really good review of some of the principles that we've been discussing, some of the things that were contained in our goal mastery journaling system. And for those of you who took my Your 9 Steps to Goal Achievement Mastery program, you'll recognize some of these things in there. But the person who was, a couple of folks who I had listened to kind of organized this in an interesting way. And so I was looking at it, and, those of you who know me, my mind works in strange ways. And I was looking at it saying, what kind of acronym could I create for this so it sounds like a fancy formula that you'll remember? And it came to me, C.A.R.G.A.S, C.A.R.G.A.S, right? The fuel for your vehicle as it moves through life, C.A.R.G.A.S. And this is a C.A.R.G.A.S formula for growth and transformation. So for some of you, this might be a little bit of review, but I think you're going to find it helpful as we take each piece one at a time to use the C.A.R.G.A.S acronym in your everyday life. And that will help you remember to be including all of these things, these 6 things in your quest for personal growth, transformation, and really creating and manifesting the kind of life that you're looking to live. So with that, let's jump to the first letter. The first letter is C, and C stands for clarity. Okay. For those of you who've been working for quite a while in this process of goal achievement and this process of life creation, we often are bombarded with all kinds of different goals, right? And if you were to ask somebody that first time you meet them, so, what are your goals in life? And they'll say, well, I want to do this and I want to have that. I want to be this, or I don't want this. I actually asked somebody at the gym the other day about, what are your goals for the kind of life? Well, I don't want this in my life, and I don't want that in my life, and I don't want to be struggling with this, and I don't want to have to experience that. And I found it interesting that a large number of people who don't actually spend a good deal of time focusing on their goals and focusing on understanding that we are the creator of our reality, will often tell you all about the things they don't want, but they may be challenged with specifically focusing on what is it that you actually do want, right? What specifically do you want that you could really focus on and really dedicate yourself to in order to do the work that's necessary to make that happen? So the first letter in the C.A.R.G.A.S formula is C for clarity. So what this reminds us of is if we're going for something, it's important that we be very clear and specific and focused about what is the goal. What specifically is it that I want to achieve? I want to be real clear about that, because the universe, in order for it to interact with us and in order for it to begin to generate opportunities that will help fill our request or our goal, we need to be very specific. Otherwise, all kinds of things might come at us and they might not be specifically what you asked for, right? So that's really, really important, is have real clarity and be clear and specific and focused, right? So we want to be very clear about what specifically is the goal that I want to achieve. We need to be able to write it in one sentence. We need to be able to visualize it very, very clearly, what it looks like, what it feels like, right? How does it impact us by having it, right? We also need to be very clear about purpose, right? Why? Purpose is all about the why, right? Why do I want to achieve this? Why do I want to have this? Why do I want to be this? Why, right? What is the purpose of that? How is this going to change my life, make it better, allow me to be a better person, a more successful person, a more useful person? That's the question I always ask myself every day. How can I provide value to the world, to the people in my life, right? To the people I love and care about, So what is the purpose of asking for this goal or focusing on this, right? What's the purpose? And also be very, very clear about what is the transformation that you are seeking, right? Because when we are clear about our goals and we are clear about what we are striving to do and achieve, and we're clear about the changes that we want to create in our lives, we will become transformed. We will shift and change from the old, more limited self to the new, more unlimited self. But it's important to have a real clear vision of who is that person that I'm going to become if I achieve this, right? Be really clear about that, because sometimes the old adage, be careful of what you wish for, you might achieve it, right? And I've seen that in my life, and I've seen that in the life of many people. They say, oh, I would be so happy if I had this, right? If I had this much of this much money, these much possessions, this kind of car, this kind of partner, this kind of job, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And they were looking at having a new life, creating a brand new reality, but they were not willing to look at or instigate or initiate a new them. So they were trying to fit the old them in a brand new scenario, right? And many times that does not fit. Many times that does not fit. So clarity about our goal. What is it I want to achieve? Clarity about our purpose. Why do I want to achieve that? And then clarity about what's the transformation that must happen and who will I become if I achieve this? We need to be ready and willing to accept that we might change or must change if our life is going to change. Does that make sense? Yeah, good. So the first C in the C.A.R.G.A.S formula is clarity. Clarity, remember that. Okay. The next letter in the C.A.R.G.A.S formula is affirmation. And the show that I aired last time was about that I am that principle, which is a very powerful affirmation. But affirmation in general is extremely important in order to create the foundation of a new reality. If we want to have a life that is different from the life we are living right now, we must be willing and able to affirm that I am already that. I am already in possession of that. I'm already transformed into that. I'm already operating from that new state. That new state of consciousness, that new state of emotion, that new state of being, that new state of action, that new state of confidence, right? So it's important in the C.A.R.G.A.S formula here that we practice affirmation, that we affirm in our thoughts, in our language, in our emotions, that you have already achieved the goal and the transformation. And this is important, not to do just once, right? I often tell the joke about the comedian who bought a new dog, and he was starting to get bummed out that, oh, I have to walk this dog 5 times a day. And finally, he was so bummed out, he said, so I took care of it. I just took it for one long walk from Boston to Florida. And that was it. I never had to walk it again. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. These are things that we have to do a little at a time, consistently on a daily basis, right? To affirm that I am that, right? I am that which I want to be. I am that already, that which I want to achieve, right? And it's important that we affirm this daily. We affirm this verbally. Perfect time, first thing in the morning. That's first thing I do, right? First thing I do after expressing my gratitude for everything is affirming who I really am, what I really want to be, and what I want to achieve, and the value I want to bring to the world in this day, right? I affirm that I am that. I am that person I've always wanted to be. I am that value to the world. I am that love that is there for all of life, right? I am that servant of humanity, right? I affirm this verbally. And that's why, for those of you who have my goal mastery journaling system, it's right in there. We write an affirmation for the day about what I am today in harmony with that which I want to be, that which I want to happen, right? Then I affirm this in my daily contemplation or meditation or prayer, whatever it is you practice out there, right? Affirm in that meditation, contemplation, spiritual exercise, or prayer that this is who I am in the eyes of the universe. I affirm that this is who I already am. And this is what I already am. This is how I already am. This is why I already am. Right? And then it's important to affirm this in writing. There's something magical that happens when you write it down in your journal, when you write it down in your notebook, or when you type it in your computer or you type it in your phone. I like to type things in my phone in the notes section. When we put it in writing in some way, shape, or form, that's like giving it birth into the earth, right? Brings it down here. And then it makes it complete. It makes it a complete something that started in inspiration, right? Because everything, all growth, all change starts in inspiration from our highest self. It moves into our mind. And then our mind is responsible to create form to that, to create specificity to that, right? Clarity to that. Our mind creates that image, that clarity, that plan about it, right? And then through affirmation, we're making that very, very clear. We're giving it a tremendous amount of energy to it, and we're allowing it to move to the next phase of being able to manifest, right? So the second tool, the second key, the second letter in the CAR-GAS formula is affirmation, right? Affirming not that this is something I hope maybe one day, I'll have or be. This is something that, yeah, maybe I want. I don't know. I'm not really sure. No, you had clarity. This is specifically what I want, and I'm affirming it all day long. I'm affirming I am this. I am this. This is what it feels like to be this. This is what it feels like to be me as this, right? So affirm it. Affirm it in your thoughts. Affirm it in your words. You use your language. Affirm it in your self-image. Affirm it in your emotions, right? Okay. Number 3, in the CAR-GAS formula, the R is repetition. Okay. Again, just like the person who thought he could just walk his dog from Boston to Florida once and have mastered that and taken care of that situation, no, it doesn't work that way. Just doing it once, saying, well, I did it, I followed the instructions, and it still hasn't happened. Well, how old are you right now? However old you are, that's the number of years you've been doing it the way you've been doing it. You've been being yourself the way you've been being yourself. If now you want to change your life, we have to change. And in order to change, we must create new habits. Old habits will continue to produce the same old results and continue to produce the same old life and the same old conditions and the same old attitudes, right? But new habits come from repetition of accepting the new reality, affirming that I am that new reality, and then practicing it daily, multiple times per day. right? Habits practiced daily create new neurological pathways in our brain. And these will create reflexive actions that will automatically and actually to a point of subconsciously supporting the achievement of your goal or transformation. So it's important once you have clarity and once you make the affirmation, it's important to repeat the declaration, repeat the visualization, repeat the articulation of your goal every day. It's important to reconnect and rededicate yourself with your purpose, that powerful why, every day, right? Reconnect with it. It's important to repeat your affirmations in thought, word, and writing. And you can even use the exercise that I had given in one of the 9 steps of goal achievement mastery, where you actually visualize yourself creating a new highway, right? See, the old highway that was creating the old results you don't want or the old person you don't want to be anymore. See them close off that highway and open up a brand new highway leading to your new goal, your new life, your new self. And see yourself every day repeating your affirmations, visualizing yourself traveling down the new high road, the new highway, and arriving to your goal so much faster and so much more fulfilled, right? Repeat that. Repeat those exercises. Repeat the visualizations. Repeat the affirmations. Okay. Number 4, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but number 4 is gratitude. The G in CAR-GAS is gratitude. Okay. And gratitude not only opens our hearts, opens our consciousness to receive the new opportunities. And we talked about this in the Your 9 Steps program for Goal Achievement Mastery, the power of gratitude, creating a tractor beam that allows life to allow you to draw to you the experiences, the resources, and opportunities that are in harmony with your new goal. Gratitude creates a powerful emotional energy, an emotional I am that energy of gratitude. And we are expressing gratitude for already having achieved our goal. So gratitude connected to the I am that is we are developing a powerful emotional connection with our future, our desired future. By placing ourselves in that desired future and being grateful for already having achieved it, and actually seeing it, visualizing it, feeling it, being it, and expressing our gratitude. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be this person now, to be living my life with unlimited opportunity, living my life with unlimited love, with powerful health, with powerful opportunities, right? Right? I'm grateful for this. That energy of gratitude moves the manifestation of your goal or your transformation that much closer to manifesting in your physical world, right? Remember, it started out as an inspiration in our higher self. It moves down to thoughts, to images, to possibilities in our mind. But then we organize that in our mind with clarity and we say, no, mind, focus, focus, focus. This is specifically now what I want, mind. Then mind will pass that through memory. And the memory sees what our higher self is trying to communicate, and it will say, yeah, if I want this, these are the things that would make that happen, and these are the things that would make that happen. I've seen that in the past, but by moving into memory and transforming our memory from being focused in the past, right? Oh, in the past, that never worked. Or in the past, I was unhappy. Or in the past, I was never successful in that. How can I be successful now? We help our memory shift into, because past, present, and future are connected, right? That fourth dimension, time is all connected. And so gratitude allows us to live and celebrate being in that new future, right? And that helps create energy. It helps then move to our emotional self, and it allows our emotional self to create all kinds of energy that is then used to manifest the new future in the present. So normally we would manifest a past reality in the present, and it's usually something we don't want, or it's the same old thing that we want to get out of. What we're doing is we're using that clarity, right? We're using the affirmations, right? We're using the repetition, and we're using gratitude to allow us to develop the emotional energy, because thought, right? Inspired thought that has clarity, that we have affirmed, but then is fueled by emotion of a desired future. That is what feeds the final step, right? It allows us to that gratitude energy helps us make our I am future a reality now. It creates that emotional vortex to drive action. It reconnects with the service, the value your achievement will bring. I'll stress again, it creates a powerful emotional vortex to now drive action, and action is the fifth key of the C.A.R.G.A.S formula, right? Take inspired action and be constant and consistent, okay? So it doesn't mean just go flailing around, just doing anything. It means if you've been going through this process of clarity, right? Going through the C.A.R.G.A.S process, clarity, affirmation, right? Repetition, gratitude. The next step is to manifest it here in our three-dimensional world. It requires real action. But see, that emotional fuel is going to drive that action. It's going to give it the energy it needs to take the action. We want to stay tuned and in tune to make sure our action is inspired action, right? It's guided, inspired action that keeps us moving in the direction of achieving the specific goal we're looking for. So inspired action is action that goes with the flow of life. And so as we're developing this C.A.R.G.A.S formula, we are also working on our daily practices of learning to listen and learning patience, and learning that as we take action, we are taking action in harmony with the flow of life. So we may say, okay, I know to get where I'm going, I have to set my aircraft to a heading of due north, right? But the winds may be saying, no, you actually need to take a heading of northeast, And we're fighting that. No, I need to head north. And it keeps pushing us northeast. Well, you know what? Let's try for a little bit to see what happens if we go northeast. Maybe the flow of life is allowing us the opportunity to find a different direction to give us an even greater experience or better opportunity. So we want to be open to and not judge when the flow of life guides us to change a course a little bit or take advantage of an opportunity that comes to you. It's a great opportunity. Well, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it's a great opportunity, and it might actually lead to you getting even more than what you had thought about or goal you had set, right? So create that momentum by taking inspired action, constant, consistent, inspired action. Allow your actions to go with the flow of life. And then learn to embrace change. Don't judge change. Don't be afraid of change. Learn to embrace change when it shows up and it cannot be avoided. Don't judge it, accept it, and keep moving forward with the flow of life and adapt to the change. There's the old saying, the only thing that's constant in life is change. And it's true, right? Everything changes. Every cell in our body changes every few days, right? We change in every few days, right? Life changes every few days. The world changes, right? So change is something that we must not be afraid of. We must not run away from. We must see it with clarity. We must look at it and see what are the opportunities in this change and go with the flow to keep moving forward and maintain the momentum. But keep taking action, inspired action, constant and consistent action, right? Don't just say, hey, I did this one thing today. That's enough, right? There's 24 hours in a day. There's minimally 8 hours in a work day. There's 16 hours that you have that you're awake. Make use of that. Find the inspired action that you can take to create more momentum and keep moving forward. And be constant and consistent, right? If you go to the gym to work out, to rehab yourself like I do and get stronger, I can't say, well, I went to the gym this week. I did a whole hour and a half workout. So I'm going to take the rest of the week off because I went and I did it, right? It's like walking the dog from Boston to Florida. It's not going to work, right? You won't get the results. It's better to work out 30 minutes every day or, four times a week or 5 times a week than, work for 2 hours and then not work out again the rest of the week, right? That doesn't build momentum. We want to build momentum, right? So that constant and consistent action will build momentum. Then finally, the final part of the C.A.R.G.A.S formula is surrender. Okay, surrender. So with surrender, what we're talking about is stay focused on your what and stay focused on your why, but let life help you find the how. Okay. It's good to have a plan. It's good to have a specific plan. I absolutely, with all of my clients, one of the first things I do after we find out what they want and how is the how, creating a plan. But first, I want to know their why. Then life will help you create the how. And, surrender for me, it's about trust, right? Surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender doesn't mean stopping what you had originally planned. What it means is trust. You keep doing what needs to be done, and you trust that life will always want what's best for you. Right? Surrender will allow you to take the C-A-R-G-A of the C.A.R.G.A.S formula and be so connected with it that your brain's reticular activation system, right, that subconscious antenna system, as soon as it's very clear what you want, but you surrender to your ability to track the right opportunities, your brain will start moving at 1,000,000 bits of information a nanosecond, and it's analyzing everything that is around you coming across your path. It's looking into the past, it's looking into the future. It's doing all of these things, and it starts to track and attract opportunities to you, and it will make them visible. It'll make you aware of them so that you then can jump on the opportunities, right? And again, they may be opportunities a little different than what you had thought of, but surrender to the opportunity, the possibility, and check it out. See, how does this fit, right? Surrender means being willing to pursue alternative directions, right? It really means non-judgment. It means detachment. And don't be too quick to judge people, opportunities, places, right? They may actually be exactly what you need, right? To create that highway for you to travel to your goal, your destination, your transformation. So remember the C.A.R.G.A.S formula, right? Remember the clarity, the importance of clarity, the importance of affirmation, the importance of repetition, the importance of gratitude, right? The importance of inspired action, and finally, the importance of surrender, detachment. Cool. Let me stop the share here, and we're back with you folks that are in our Zoom studio here, and for those of you in our Facebook. So let me ask you, did any of that light up a light for you? Did you find any of that helpful? Do you have any questions? Let's see. Heather.
Yeah. One of the first things that I started to think about was what would happen if you had more than one really specific goal. And then it started to become a little bit more clear that it's like, if you do a little bit of each of the goals every day, that, you just have to double up. So, be that much more work, but it might be that much more transformation. So,
yeah. And, you think about somebody in school, let's say, somebody who's in school. Well, one of their goals is, to achieve some excellence and some success in their courses, right? So they're going to need to create a plan, and they're going to need to budget time each day to focus on that. But then they still have to focus on their health, right? They have to make sure they're eating right and sleeping right and exercising. And, maybe that person is a student athlete. So then they have to create goals for their athletics, right? But it's the same process. So like you said, we can create a process for each goal. What we want to make sure is that we don't overwhelm ourselves with way too many things all at once that we're doing every day. When we start to getting to multiple goals, then it becomes valuable to assign specific days to specific goals, right? So then you have more focus, and you don't have the overwhelm. You don't have the exhaust, right? So I highly recommend that. I'm a person who has goals in a lot of areas of my life. So what I do is I certain days I do certain things. So thank you, Heather. That was a great question, and a great thought and comment. And I think it's helpful for everyone who's watching. Jocelyn.
I just want to say this is great. This is great. I think you should keep that formula for all the things you're doing. I tell you, it was great inspiration. It raised a lot of things in me, and there's so much into what you brought tonight. So much we cannot tackle it all. One thing that got to me was the clarity. The clarity. Why? Because lately life is really brought to my attention in various ways the importance of time management, and for me. And the thing is, as you were saying, and I use that when I do intervention with Psyche, is don't tell me where you don't want to go. Most of the time people say, you don't want to go to Tokyo, you don't want to go to New York, so tell me where you want to go. So it's the same thing. And so you said that, but so I just, as you were talking, I realized that the importance of the statement, in that case, and for the first, like, my time is precious, I manage it well. You see, that's where I want to go. It's not that, I want to stop losing my time. No, my time is precious, I manage it well. So this become a statement. And the reason for that, and the reason for that is that because I want to become a successful top transformational leader. And if I want to be successful, I need to manage my time well. And exactly. Because I will save energy, I will take better care of myself as well, and I will be able to serve more. So yes. That was an element that that got to me, and now understood better why I had so many situations bringing me back to that point. A second one was let your gratitude energy make your I am reality. What that brought to my attention is that there's a postulate that I remind people about from Mrs. Lovejoy, and the postulate is, I don't know how, I just know it's happening, and I'm contented. And this is a very, very strong postulate, because I don't know how I'm going to become this successful transformational leader. I just know it's happening, just like you said, it's already a reality, and I'm contented. This is the gratitude. So now I understand why this lady Lovejoy is getting so many results in her life. It's very powerful. So that was the second thing I wanted to tell. And the third one, inspire action. You say constant. So take inspire action. And what I would add to that is whether you feel like or not.
Yes.
Okay. Because quite often we don't, because, I'm tired, I'd rather do this or not do that. That's the demon of inaction. That's the one that's going to block you on your way there. So take inspired action, whether you feel like it or not. Don't let the action drive you, the emotion drive. Let the purpose drive. So that's a discipline. Yeah.
And that's the last thing you said, I think, is so important. And that is the clarity of purpose, your why. That energy you create around that clarity of purpose in your why will drive you. It will give you the fuel to go beyond when you're not feeling like it, right? Or when you're afraid of it, right? It's important.
Yes.
Or when you doubt yourself and your ability to do it. That's why it's at the very, very first part is that clarity, the clarity of purpose, the clarity of what specifically you want and why. Why will always trump the how. Why will always trump the not feeling like it, right? A strong why will trump all of those things. Thank you, Jocelyn. Really, really important information and great clarity on some of the things we've been talking about tonight. Thank you. Okay, who else? Summary.
Okay. I don't have a question, but I did want to share a story as a comment, which is w- take inspired action, be clear on the what and the why, and then flow with life. And
Mm.
and that balance, and that balance has an undercurrent, where you have to ask yourself, am I flowing with life, or am I just being distracted by the newest shiny thing? So there is this kind of self-awareness and thinking through that. But this is my story. Last week, you might remember, my focus was brought back to one of my goals, which is to create a calendar for 2024 that I would distribute to my community. And I'm focusing on this goal and seeing it, seeing the value that it would bring. And a thing comes across in my email, and anyway, appealing to me, which is to do a weekend immersion in a program that creates card decks, as in oracle cards. And
Oh,
I'm saying, why is this coming to me? Why is this coming to me? This is clearly a distraction. So put it away. And for at least 3 days, just in going through life, something came back about this particular program. And so I decided, well, this is a different direction, but I have no, the intuition is so potent that I now feel uneasy about not following it, about trying to put this life message out of my consciousness. And so I went and I was immersed in the weekend program, and found so many ways in which you could have a deck of cards doesn't need to be, you know, a number of cards in a box, like in a deck. But what would it be like if my calendar was perhaps an accordion of 12 cards? What would it be like if I had a calendar and then a companion product that was a set of cards that help you with? Because when I being in the card deck construction or creation program made me rethink elements of my calendar. Why do I want to do a calendar? What would people benefit from if they use my calendar? And I found out that it wasn't so much that I wanted people to have a pretty calendar, but that the calendar should be a vehicle to reconnect people to the fact that we have not only a desire but a responsibility to create our own life. And how can the calendar do that? And so I, I'm sharing that because I don't think I would have gotten as clear in terms of what do what's the why, what's the real purpose behind wanting to create a calendar. And by seeing that and going more deeply into it this weekend, I was able to see the flow of life bringing me. Now, the story is not fully told. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I could see, the the influence, the benefit of allowing life to take me a little bit off track in order to strengthen the on track. I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah, it does make sense. Actually, a very logical connection to your art is oxygen.com product. You know, I could see a real connection between that doodling, using doodling as a vehicle of connecting to your inner self and connecting right and left brain and finding inspiration and information. And so, yeah, I'd definitely look forward to exploring that more with you. I see that as a real connection with the product line that you're developing.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah, exciting. How exciting.
I love that we make the clarity, we make the affirmation, we're grateful, and then the brain's reticular activating system pulls it together for us.
Yeah.
Right? It's not really, there's some stuff we get to do, and it's important to do them and do them consistently. I love everything you shared, Jocelyn, but there's also realizing that there's another part of our physiology of our brain that's also doing some work that we don't have to do. But we have to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Samarit.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Jocelyn, one more quick thing. Do you have something
I
quick?
just want,
Okay.
I agree with Samarit in the sense that it's a partnership. It's a
Yes.
partnership between the force that you said that really want the best for us, and what is our responsibility into working our part in there. So so that's all I wanted to add to that. It's a shared responsibility.
That is a partnership. Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. So, yeah. So I had mentioned earlier in this that, this is a review for some of you. And I'll just make a quick connection with this. For those of you who don't know about my program, that I spoke about two programs. The first was the Goal Mastery Journaling System. This is a goal achievement mastery journaling system. There's no journal like it. It's 7 journals in one. There's instructional video and 12-week program with videos for each week. Each portion of the system has video of instruction, of discussion, questions and answers. There's exercises, and it's just an amazing personal development tool. And for the folks that are here that have used it, it really has made an incredible impact on their lives. I know it has in my life. And it includes all the principles we're talking about, that we've talked about today in the C.A.R.G.A.S formula. Even though I just coined C.A.R.G.A.S, this morning, all of the pieces I've been using since I was 17, and they're all inside of all of my programs. So I encourage you, if you don't have the Goal Mastery Journaling System, go to goalmasteryjournal.com, goalmasteryjournal.com, check it out. We actually have a special price, $100 off the entire system. That is the journal, the videos. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. So highly recommend you do that. If what we talked about tonight made sense to you, it's all contained in my Goal Mastery Journaling System. It is also all contained in my online self-paced masterclass, the Your 9 Steps for Goal Achievement Mastery. It's a masterclass. Each class has a workbook. There are actually over 18 videos. There's 18 videos with 18 worksheets in there. There's recordings of questions and answers and discussion with class members. You also have access to me daily through emails and texts. This is also at a discount price. So you can find that at MikeDeLucaCoach.com. And I encourage you, if you haven't experienced this program, or if you did experience it after going through C.A.R.G.A.S today, if you know of someone, a friend or family member or coworker, who's really struggling with making their life head in the direction they want to, I highly recommend they experience this program. So I'll leave it at that. And Once again, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you, everybody who showed up in Zoom, was willing to participate. Thank you, everybody who's joining us right now or will be joining us in the future on my Facebook Live page, watching the recording of this. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making the effort to make your life a better life, because when we take one step to make our life a more fulfilling life, we help the entire world. The entire world is uplifted. So I wish you all the best in a wonderful, beautiful, creative, purposeful, goal achieved filled life. Thank you for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you in a future episode, a future meeting. And I love you all, and I'm grateful for who you are, what you do, and what you will do, because it will definitely impact the world. So take care, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good life. And we will see you next time.